I want to do the files first or do I want to talk about Jay-Z? Let's talk about Jay-Z first, actually. I want to watch this video by Savvy Savs. Shout out to Savvy Savs. She's one of my favorite content creators. She actually pulled a lot of pieces together. Although a lot of people are now making content exposing Jay-Z for who he really is across social media. There's a lot of chatter about Jay-Z. So I want to actually show some of Savvy Sav's video, but I actually also want to show some of DJ Akademiks, one of his recent streams, because he kind of talked about Charlamagne, and I want to speak on some of the things that he said regarding Charlamagne and these Epstein files. But we're going to kick it off with Savvy Savs first and her video.
Interview from Democracy Now! They were interviewing Jay-Z at this time in 2017. And I want you guys to pay close attention to this. They are asking him about mass incarceration and Donald Trump, because this was around the time, if I remember correctly, I think this was around the time when Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein were doing the docu-series about Khalif Browder. And that does involve mass incarceration. So it makes sense that they would ask that question. And Trump was the president at the time. Watch this behavior.
In your thoughts on Donald Trump and what it means for mass incarceration?
You know what? This is a labor of love for Jay, and as a result, he's my friend. We're here to talk about that.
Jay-Z look at his face. Just look at his face. What grown man? Now, I'm going to just let it finish.
Nothing else.
Well, then can I ask you about mass incarceration? And do you think the movement is...
Watch this. When is Harvey Weinstein a publicist to where he can tell somebody that someone else is not answering questions? So I'm showing this to bring up the fact that Jay-Z is not just an acquaintance of Harvey Weinstein. There is something more there. There is something more like handler boss type thing, if you ask me. Did y'all see how he looked to that man when they uttered the name Donald Trump at the question? Let's roll it back just a little bit.
They were interviewing this, so it makes such this.
Or no, what it means for mass incarceration.
You know what? This is a labor of love for Jay, and as a result, he's my friend. We're here to talk about that and nothing else.
Well, then can I ask you about mass incarceration? And do you think the movement...
So I wanted to show that because I just have some thoughts on Jay-Z. There was a shift, if you ask me, not in just Jay-Z, but Beyonce as well. As they rose to prominence, there was a shift in their behavior. And I have seen it with so many celebrities. As a media professional, somebody who is always watching news, always paying attention to what's trending. I just noticed that Jay-Z and Beyonce both seem to just stop talking one day. They were once these artists who were very vocal and very in front of the media and the cameras all the time, and then they just stopped talking. So to see him allow Harvey Weinstein, however you say his name, Harvey Weinstein, to speak for him, that's completely against this persona that Jay-Z has around him. Everyone thinks he's so bossed up. He's this powerful man. He does this and that. He's an entrepreneur, a mogul, all of that. What powerful man is going to allow another man to step in and speak for him? And he actually looked to him for an answer. It's not just that he cut him off. He looked at him for an answer. What man is looking to another man to tell him what to say, especially on a project that he worked on? So when you see those type of things, you do have to ask questions. It's not just with his relationship with Harvey Weinstein, but there are so many artists and individuals that have come out and said things about Jay-Z that I feel like, because folks don't want to believe them, or there's the popularity of the term conspiracy theories, people just don't take it seriously. But I think now is a time for folks to really start looking at him and asking questions. The reason why I showed the Savvy Savs clip is because I thought it was interesting how he looked to that man for an answer. But also later in her video, which I'm not going to try to scroll and find it there, but later in the video, he's seen in the studio with Bill Gates, allowing Bill Gates to rap Big Pimpin', like on some cool type stuff. Like with Bill Gates, one of the most icky billionaires in the world, you gonna let him sit and rap your song like that and tell him it's cool, even if you are joking? Like, why are y'all even together? It's just so weird. But I want to really quickly go over to this DJ Akademiks clip. Shout out to DJ Akademiks. He's not everybody's cup of tea. I actually just happen to really appreciate how good he is at what he does. Love him or hate him. I'm one of those people. I said it when I made a video about Candace Owens. When someone is good at what they do, they deserve credit for that. Like, I'm not a hater. I don't care. Like, I don't know you in real life. So what people think about you or say about you, that ain't none of my business. I can only go off what I see. And what I see when it comes to Akademiks is someone who is really good at what he does in terms of content creation. He has a very engaged audience, and the man does numbers. Like, you cannot take that away from him. But I happen to see that he was talking about Epstein and all that's surrounding that, specifically with Jay-Z, but he used Charlamagne is a focal point. And I think that this is important. I am not a fan of Charlamagne. I don't get the hype of Charlamagne. He's just a rude person that is a know-it-all, like we see a lot in the Black media commentating political space. Yes, I said it. People in that space do not respect when you have different opinions, and they try to make you look stupid and feel stupid when you have different opinions. And because of their celebrity status and the fact that people worship them or somehow think that they're so great because they have these jobs, like Dame Dash said, you're clocking in, even though Charlamagne did get a deal, but we can talk about that too. But you got this job and it gives you this prestige, so people just automatically think you're a good person or something, or you're a trustworthy person or something. But he's not. Like, Charlamagne is a sellout, has been, still is. Like, that is who he is. He does not stand for what's right. He does not speak truth to power. He just does not. He is not that guy. And DJ Akademiks so beautifully showcased that during his stream, and I want to talk about it. He documented Charlamagne's switch up from prior to the files being released to after, when it revealed that Jay-Z, Pusha T, and I guess Eminem were included in those files. Now, I did not see the mention of these people. I have not actually looked myself into these files. I have watched other creators talk about it. Eventually, I might look into them. I don't know. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because lately, especially, and that's the whole point of this video, the main topic about conspiracy theories, is that this is the same playbook, y'all. Like, it's the same thing that was being done during COVID. Like, in order to discredit people, folks just simply lie. And it's important to bring up or to show the receipts when people are lying. Because when you do that, you allow folks who are asleep or who don't want to accept the reality of things, you allow them to wake up. And if we want to see any type of change, whether it be in our communities, whether it be in the government, in society, we got to wake up to what's really going on and be able to be honest. And I feel like because conspiracy theorists, which the name or the phrase, the term, the label conspiracy theorist is actually conspiracy itself, because it was a term allegedly created by the government to make to what's the word, to impact the credibility of people's claims when they came into knowledge of certain things. So that in itself is a conspiracy. But I want people to just see that the folks that you watch every day they are doing a job and it is not in your favor. They are doing a job. They're going to continue to do their job because they want to get paid. They don't want to be broke like you. So you have to go back and check them when they lie. So at the very least, you're not deceived. If they want to deceive the people who just take everything they say at face value, then let them do that. But don't let it be you. And I'm seeing an increasing need to talk about the media and how the media itself is so corrupt. I find myself asking so many questions because I have professional degrees in media, the undergraduate level and the graduate level. I study media. Everybody, for the most part, who is on these platforms, these reporters, these journalists, aside from your independent people, which some of them probably do have professional media backgrounds, broadcast and communications backgrounds, we all took the same type of courses. So it's just amazing to me to see these news anchors and these journalists and these radio personalities come on and lie. That's the opposite of what the media is supposed to do. Not only do they come on and lie, they don't investigate. What happened to real investigative journalism? And this climate, this political climate that we're in, this politically correct climate that we're in, I hope people see that this type of environment breeds lies or breeds dishonesty rather. If someone's job is on the line, if they don't go with the narrative, a lot of people don't have the integrity to say, forget it, I'll lose the job, but I'm going to maintain my integrity. I'm going to maintain my principles. A lot of people just not going to do that. And we're seeing it every day because the Epstein files release is not just about Jeffrey Epstein. It's about all of the people who knew this stuff was going on, who helped to cover it up. Our own government told us the files didn't exist. And here we are. And we're going to get more into that, but I just have to say that regarding Charlamagne, because so many people look at him as if he's amazing, accomplished, he's connected. He's a liar, just like the rest of them, and he cannot be trusted. And DJ Akademiks is going to show you why. So let's get into that.
This is my man Charlamagne. This is my man's. I don't want nobody to try to put me against him. It's my guy. I love him always. But I got to point out that the Epstein files coming out, and I'm not a political guy that much, but he was on the radio pretty much demanding, bring it out. We need to see it, because the agenda was, this how we going to get Trump. Let's keep it being. The Epstein files sounded amazing when we thought it was only the elites we didn't know and we really fucking hated that were going to be accused and supposedly had some proof of doing the nasty shit. Watch.
It's funny how the news works, because Bill Clinton, wrote a letter to, Jeffrey Epstein as well for his birthday, but nobody's talking about that. Mm-hmm. And Jeffrey Epstein had a picture.
This is before the list got released. I love Charlamagne, but I got to point it out. Do y'all hear the words that's coming out of his mouth? He said, nobody is talking about Bill Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein or the connection thereof, and he's questioning it. Now, I want y'all to listen with your ears. Did he accuse Bill Clinton of anything? No. But he seems, this is before the list comes out, he seems to be asking, well, why? Or let's talk about it. Why aren't we talking about it? I love when people say things like that. We should talk about it. Hear it again.
News works. Bill Clinton, wrote a letter to, Jeffrey Epstein as well for his birthday, but nobody's talking about that. Mm-hmm. And Jeffrey Epstein had a picture of Bill Clinton in a dress and high heels, in his New York mansion, but nobody's talking about that. My thing is this. I don't care who's on the list.
I like that.
About that. My thing is this. I don't care who's on the list. Everybody got to go.
Okay, so this was Charlamagne.
I don't care who's on the list. Everybody got to go. Nobody's talking about that. My thing is this. I don't care who's on the list. Everybody got to go.
Wait, hold. Oh, hold up now.
Him is one of us, okay? But I don't even like the headlines I saw of him. Pusha T, Jay-Z, and Eminem to something like the Epstein files. Come on, man. Okay, listen, for everyone who may not know, let me explain to you. Mentions of these artists didn't come from Epstein's personal records. They didn't come from reports supported by law enforcement.
Look at Akademiks' face, y'all.
The majority of the files could not be corroborated. That's why no one's in custody. There isn't the files we currently have. There's nobody saying, hey, based on this and this, you should charge this person for this offense at this time. This is why we're about to have hearings about this. So essentially, that's what I was saying. We got a bunch of uncorroborated shit about everybody. How do we pick and choose who to talk about? Me, I say talk about them all. Investigate the president, investigate Elon, investigate this guy, investigate that guy, investigate Pusha T, investigate Jay-Z, investigate Eminem. That's what I say. Everybody. Because I heard Charlotte, he said, burn it all down.
On the list. Everybody.
Well, that's basically what the gist of that segment was, where he was just basically saying, you, before it was your homie, everybody had to go, but now that your homies are in it, you don't believe it. And the people who are questioning and talking about it, something's wrong with them. And earlier in the clip, Charlamagne said, we always want to tear down our own. Regardless of who's on these files or who's in these files, everyone needs to be looked at for their role in whatever it is they were implicated in. And hopefully by you seeing what Charlamagne did there, you will see that you cannot trust these people. Their role is to keep you in line with what the higher ups want you to think. The media is a fact. Look it up. Agenda setting, framing. The media tells you what to think. They want you to think what they want you to think. And so Charlamagne is no different because he works for iHeartRadio when he's in the capacity of the Breakfast Club. So if iHeartRadio is saying, we don't want to talk about Jay-Z because we have relationships with Rock Nation and so, so we're just gonna, tell them they're a little crazy for thinking it about him. That's how it works. So just kind of moving on, I learned that Jay-Z and 50 Cent were beefing. I told y'all I don't be on Instagram and stuff anymore, but I'm seeing it. And so now people are asking like, well, let's look into Jay-Z a little bit because he's always had these sketchy allegations from Foxy Brown, dealings with DMX, Bobby Shmurda, and what he revealed about Jay-Z and Diddy and Meek Mill and how Jay-Z was involved there. We know Tory Lanez and that whole situation, which, by the way, a lot of people, reputable people, have looked into that and found some issues with how his case was handled, and nothing has happened. And Jay-Z is in the midst of that situation. Even the Rock Nation, I don't know if she's the CEO, but she has some type of high title. Desiree Perez, the situation with her daughter and what her own daughter was saying about her. Then Nicki Minaj, the things that she's saying. And even the paternity issue that Jay-Z has been running from Rymir Satterway, who has been pursuing a DNA test with Jay-Z. Like, there's all these things that have come up about this man that show where there is smoke, there's fire. There's something sketchy about him. It is what it is. Like, I know a lot of people like him as an artist. I used to be a huge Jay-Z fan in the Blueprint era. That's back when I wanted to be a video girl when I was in high school. I was crazy, y'all. But I love the entertainment industry. I was a student of culture. That's why I chose the career path that I chose. I love the entertainment industry, the music and the videos and the fashion, everything about, the Y2K era. I loved it. When Jay-Z put out Girls, 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 song Cry to this day is still one of my favorite songs. But we got to call a thing a thing. People, this is why we should not be worshiping celebrities. We should not be worshiping celebrities. We should not be worshiping politicians. These are regular people who have issues just like the person that you see walking down the street. And I just want to note though, like, even just over time, like when going back to Stabby Stab's video, how he just kind of was looking for Harvey Weinstein to answer the question for him. You've just seen over time Jay-Z and Beyonce too pull away from the media. And that's something that has irritated me, not just with them, with celebrities in general. Like even J. Cole, I've been irritated with him too. But like these artists get to a certain level of fame and then they don't give their fans anything. They don't talk. They stop talking. And you gotta wonder why do y'all stop doing interviews? Because now when content is even more of a currency than it ever has been, when it could help you even more than it ever could, when you have so much reach, why have you all pulled away from the platforms and speaking? And I believe it's because people don't want to answer questions anymore because they don't want to say the wrong thing and it hurts their pockets. Instead of risking saying the wrong thing in an interview, I'm just going to stop doing interviews. And so then they use that as a means to like bump up their aura, their persona, their celebrity persona. So now people just love the mystery. And you know how folks are like, if I was Beyonce, I wouldn't talk to you all either. Like people somehow have turned it into this cool thing that makes them better or bigger or more important than other celebrities, more valuable because they don't speak. How did it work? I've always had an issue with that. But Charlamagne kind of touched on in his post the files release, he was saying, you know, people, it's always our own. We want to take our own, and this narrative about focusing on Black men. And my thing has been, if these men are part of it, why not? Just because they're Black? You know, we are the movers of culture. Black Americans are the movers of culture. We are the people that make things cool. So, of course, when we talk about stuff, it seems as though we are amplifying things, but we talk about our own business for the most part. So, a lot of folks are interested in speaking about Jay-Z because he's somebody that they see as part of our community or see as someone that they have the knowledge to speak on. So it's not that people are just picking and choosing to focus on the Black men, but at the same time, what does race have to do with it if they're involved in these nefarious things? And so people are defending Jay-Z and trying to say that he's not what he is seeming to be if you add everything together. And even Lil Russell, I was so shocked to hear Lil Russell say some of the things that he said about Jay-Z. And maybe that's something I can do in a future video or touch on in a future video, where now he's saying, you know, people like, again, this same play, if you somehow think something other than what you should think or what they believe you should think about Jay-Z or any other Black celebrity, Black male celebrity, whoever, you're stupid and you don't read and you're dumb. He even threw his own mom under the bus to say something good about Jay-Z. And it was really disappointing, but I've never it's always been something off about Lil Russell to me anyway. But I just had to throw that out there. Like, he's one of the latest people to come out and kind of say that too. And you just have to wonder, like, what is he paying y'all? Because it's at the very least worth investigating. You know, you can't say what you believe or don't believe without the proof, and you don't know these people in real life. But at the very least, you should be questioning it. Why wouldn't we question it? Who is he supposed to be? Thank you for watching this video clip. Click the link in the description box or in the comment section to watch the full video, and be sure to subscribe for more.